That's such a pretty name. That's such a pretty name. Eh? Okay, alright. I bet you said that to all the girls. Hey everyone, it's your girl Hal. Welcome back to another Ikemen Vampire video. Now, I know I haven't been posting Ikemen Vampire for a long time. I've been mostly uploading my Obey Me videos, but don't you worry. I will continue to play the Ikemen Vampire series as well as other visual novels that I'm also looking into as well. But guys, with that being said, let's continue on with the prologue. It's poor manners to keep those who've arrived on time waiting. I knew his voice, which belonged to many countries and none. So which country does it belong to? It's you! It was the gentleman who found my earring back in the Musée du Louvre. I remember that. The Louvre. I hurried down the steps, stopping short at the sight of those golden eyes. It's really him. Is he the lord of the manor? I certainly thought he was princely. I mean, he does look princely. I mean, look at him. Pardon, do you remember me? We men from the coronation of Napoleon. You picked up my earring. Of course I remember you. He came here by the way of the Louvre, like I did. Good. At this point, I just need to get to an exit, any exit, and call for a ride. Before I could ask the gentleman the way out, my dark-haired savior stepped between us. She says she came here through your door. Did you bring her? Just as when he grabbed my hand, he looked like he was protecting me. I did not. I can give you my oath if you wish. Her arrival is just as surprising to me. Then how did she get in here? What are they talking about? Your door? My arrival? They're not making sense. It was becoming hard to deny that something was wrong here. Very wrong. I wanted out more than ever. I just need to know where I am first. I tapped my cell phone. 2:50 p.m. No signal. You've been very kind, but I really can't stay. I got an itinerary to keep. We're still in the first arrondissement, yes? Where the Louvre is? That door there, does it lead outside? I asked my questions rapid fire, before anyone else got the idea to interrupt me. I'm afraid the answers you seek will only confuse you more. This isn't the place for long discussion, however. Would you join me for dinner? Will I join you for dinner or will I be dinner is the question. A long discussion? Does that door lead outside? The answer is either yes or no. Perhaps he sensed my growing aggravation. He quickly added, Tonight's banquet is a rare occasion for us, but afterwards I will answer all your questions. S'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît. See, I'm glad I took French, but yet failed on the first try. Okay. I made it my job to help people plan their vacation adventures. As such, I had done the digging on any number of fancy hotels. The gentleman from Paris' dining room was that of a palace, warmly lit with chandeliers and candelabras. Okay. High-backed wooden chairs framing the massive table. 4 men were already seated. There was a beautiful pianist. He seemed to be holding to his earlier statement. He looked unhappy to be here. There were two men sitting together, some distance from the pianist. Must have been something pretty important to keep us waiting here. 1 second longer and I would have left. The dark-haired one was drumming his fingers impatiently on the table. Now, getting angry about dinner is not going to make the food come out any faster. I have to be angry for two. Nijin bro. Okay, whatever language is that? Bro. So they're brothers? And Dutch. So it's Dutch, okay. Because I was trying to figure out what the hell type language that is. The pale-haired brother had the opposite attitude of his short-tempered sibling. Who's that? The nice one's gentle eyes stopped on me. We have a guest? It's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. There was salvation in his smile. He looked like the paintings of the angels I've seen in the museum. There he is. There's always that one person who makes everything brighter. We have a guest? The fourth man, who had a youthful face, raised his head, finally noticing our arrival. He'd been studying the tablecloth as far as I could see. He got the briefest look at me before returning to thread counting. He spoke, but I wasn't sure if it was to me, as he wouldn't meet my eyes. Whoever you are, have you considered sitting down? Oh, and he's rude as hell too. There's a queue behind you waiting to get in, you know. Newt, old boy, you do care. Can you desist calling me that wretched? Newt placed his hands on the table and though to push to his feet, I heard a sharp clap behind me. That will be enough of that, you two. I acquire good manners at my table. The gentleman from Paris gave everyone in the room a warning look, cloaked in a smile. Let's be seated. There are a few empty chairs, but we'll have to start the toast without them. So far, everything is actually looking pretty good. A votre santé. The gentleman raised a glass of golden champagne and a toast to good health. Immediately after, the butler began bringing out the first course. I didn't join the gentleman in his toast. I didn't touch my glass of champagne. It's not that I believed it was poison or drugged, though I was certainly wary. I didn't feel like joining in. Too much didn't make sense. You're telling me. It should be 3:15 and I should be at the Louvre, but it's nighttime and we're seated at dinner. I couldn't solve that puzzle right now, so I turned my attention to my companions. Who are all these men? I haven't been introduced to anybody. They were all from different countries. Was this an international meeting of some kind? They don't particularly seem to be friends. The gentleman from Paris, sitting at the head of the table, inclined his glass my way. Let us toast to tonight's most glorious and miraculous encounter. Santé. À la vôtre. Unable to refuse such a direct toast, I responded, looking in his eyes, and I touched my glass to his. He finished his champagne. Feeling guilty, I took a sip of mine. It tasted wonderful. Glorious? Miraculous? What is going on? My stomach knew. I'd only eaten a quick breakfast this morning, and I was hungry. I'll be insulting him if I don't eat, and everything looks so good. I tried the terrain, pleasant with fresh basil. It tasted as adequate as it looked. My compliments to the chef. The bezique is delicious too. Listen, don't bash me with these foreign languages and these names. I'm trying my hardest, okay? If you guys know what some of these words actually mean, tell me down in the comments below because I know you guys are all educated. You can taste the crab. It thickened just right. He'll be pleased to hear that. The gentleman from Paris smiled at me, and suddenly I was feeling my champagne. Maybe he's just this harmless nobleman, and I'm taking this all too seriously. By all appearances, it was a perfectly pleasant evening. Wasn't this just the sort of romantic adventure I arranged for people? That was a wonderful first course. I just get this gut feeling down in my stomach that something's about to go down, but I will wait and see. When the gentleman spoke, everyone stopped their quiet chatter and gave him their attention. I believe we should take this opportunity to introduce ourselves to our guest. Please do. Okay, we're going to continue. I will start us off. Everyone has taken to calling me Ikemen de Saint-Germain. Ikemen de Saint-Germain. I'm gonna call him Saint. Comte. So he's a count. That explains his old world air. Ooh, we got royalty up in our midst. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. The pleasure's all mine, Comte. I stiffened, realizing blatantly I couldn't been making a better impression of myself. Le Comte de Saint-Germain next turned to his servant. My hard-working butler and the chef of tonight's excellent banquet, Sebastian. It's a pleasure to meet you. Sebastian gave me a formal bow. The pleasure is mine. A butler named Sebastian? How typical is that? Except that I recognize your accent, Sebastian. It's the same as mine. You're Japanese, and I'm willing to bet Sebastian isn't your real name. Oh shit, look at us. We're already going ahead and making assumptions and everything. Okay. It occurs to me we haven't heard your name yet. I'd be pleased to know it. I guess there's no harm in that. The man with the angel's face sitting across from me was the first to reply. I wasn't expecting someone like you to turn up here. I hope we can be friends. You see? That's how they get you. That's how they always get you. Let's be friends. Next thing you know, everything goes up and down. It goes from 0 to 100 real quick. I'm Vincent von Guth. I'm a painter. It's nice to meet you. The gentle angel Vincent von Guth. These angels, so-called angels, the quiet ones, remember the quiet ones are always the most deadliest. I don't trust him. He cute, but I don't trust him. It's nice to meet you too. Only because I forced to say that. A painter named Vincent von Guth is the theme of tonight's banquet for Donimus. Yeah, I tried. But I smiled back. He seemed like a nice man. And this is my little brother. Go on, Theo. Introduce yourself. Vincent nodded at his brother. Theodorus van Guth. I'm an art dealer. Don't confuse me with Vincent. I like you. I like those hard types. I'll do my best. Confuse you two? Not likely. Although I would have pinned you for the older brother. Maybe it's his attitude, but Vincent doesn't strike me as the oldest child. My introduction's over, so don't expect to get anything else from me. He opened a pocket watch and tapped the back. Tap, tap, tap. As if to say, I got things to do. Okay, geez, fine, whatever. What's his hurry? Goodness, is he the opposite of his brother or what? I looked to the next in line. Sitting to the right of Theodorus was Newt. I had met Newt's eyes for a moment before he looked away from me again. Will you just look at me? I don't bite. Notice me, senpai, please. Notice me, senpai. If he could have curled up into a ball so small, then he disappeared completely. I was certain he would have. I'm Isaac Newton. I study physics. Wolf in sheep's clothing. Isaac Newton. I like his colors. It's nice. So, your name's Isaac. Nice to meet you. Is he a student? Maybe Cambridge. He's got that South English accent. Wait. Should that be Sir Isaac? Just then, I heard one of the windows rising. To my surprise, someone was coming in from outside. Okay. I didn't need to hear him speak to know he was Japanese. The man waved at us. Well, would you look at that? I'm a little late, aren't I? In we go. He just about crossed the windowsill when his sleeve got caught. He pulled it at comically, ineffectively so. He's wearing an old Taisho-style kimono in the middle of Paris, and he came in through a window? Where do I start with him? Question is, where do you finish with him? Where can I start and where can you finish? God's truth. Can't you use the door? I kept everyone waiting. No, the window was much faster. Oh, jeez, okay. He smiled, hooked like a fish on a window, but looking as if nothing about that was strange. I was still staring when he freed himself. His eyes fell on me. Oh, hello there, young one. Why, I'm happy to see you here. How's dinner? It's good, isn't it? Well, Sebastian made it, and you wouldn't believe how fast his cooking gets gobbled up. He nonchalantly took the seat next to Isaac, who immediately slid away from him. Okay. You've arrived just in time. We were all introducing ourselves to our guest. You'd like me to introduce myself? I'm Daisy. Osamu Daisy. Just a poor writer struggling to make his way in the world. Osamu Daisy, the writer. Okay. Oh yes, I know you. I had to read you in my high school classical literature class. I rubbed my temples. How was my champagne glass doing? Empty. How could I escape? Now I feel bad. I should have introduced myself as Marie Antoinette. No, Queen Himiko. No, like they'll actually take that. I looked back at the Von Guth brothers. It was Vincent who had started this weird chain of nonsense names. Yet, he had the most innocent smile. Who are these people? I mean, really? I get it now. This must be for one of those reality segments that run on morning TV. Oh God. Surprise, you've traveled back in time. They get actors. Everyone sees how panicked the guests get. They laugh. But they need my written permission for that. Besides, why rent out such a grand mansion for a variety skit? And in Paris. That didn't make any sense at all. Now I regret drinking the champagne. Had there been something in it? Never mind. Who's next? Surprise me. Skipping several empty chairs brought us to the coldly beautiful pianist. Wolfie. That's what the flirt had called him. At the very least, this can't be a joke because this one would never play along. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Composure. Hello, Mozart. Of course, the pianist calls himself Mozart. I would have accepted Beethoven too. When you realize that this is a blast from your literal past, that these are all famous people, I can't wait. It was strange that the man who hated parties would join in on this silly game. Oh, at least we forget the flirt. I do believe I'm next. I'm Arthur Conan Doyle, mystery writer. And don't call me sir, just Arthur. As long as I get to call you Howl. I wasn't going to grace that with an answer. Now, I believe that he's capable of saying anything to anyone if he thought it could get his foot in the door. But would they all be lying to me? No, not lying. They're presumptuous then. Whatever that word is. Ugh. They have to be. They're celebrities or dignitaries, and they're giving me fake names to keep their real identities secret, or something. Girl, if only we know. I believe that leaves you. The commented Velvet's voice arrested my fancies. What? He arrested my fancy. Okay. Only one man was left. My protector. He wanted me to get out of here. He promised to answer my questions as soon as we were gone. For some reason, I instantly trusted him. More than anyone else here. Would he lie to me too? My dark-haired savior looked at me with those eyes that hid nothing and said, Napoleon Bonaparte. Bonaparte. Okay, see, we learned some languages here. I'm a soldier. Okay, wow. So that was a very interesting prologue. Now, we're not finished the prologue yet. We're not. But that was really interesting how we're meeting all these different famous people from all the way from the past. Because I'm pretty sure not only I, but you guys have also heard of Mozart, Napoleon. You guys have heard of those people. Isaac Newton. You guys have heard them all. And it's very interesting how the MC thinks that this is basically a play. I find that to be very, very interesting. But once again, I can even feel within myself, this is going to be a very rude awakening, not only for the MC, but also for me, because I'm very curious to see what's going to happen as this prologue continues. But guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to like this video so I know you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel for more visual novel and anime content. I'll see you guys in the next video of Ikemen Vampire. Jada!